Hi everyone, welcome to our show. I'm very happy and excited to tell you that today we have on our show Rachita Kanwar, who's a counseling psychologist and has completed her bachelor's in psychology from Delhi University, master's in industrial psychologist from Mithai College, Mumbai, and PGDM in counseling and guidance psychology from St. Xavier's College, Mumbai. So today we have her, and we are really excited and thrilled to have this conversation on how to deal with anxiety during COVID times. So welcome, Rachita. We are very excited. Power Gummies is really excited to have you here. How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good too.
I'm very excited for this thing to be a part of it.
Thank you. So there are some questions from our viewers regarding this topic, and I think we are going to discuss today in this session.
Sure.
Yeah. So the first question, Rachita, people are having that is, what should I do if the non-stop news about COVID-19 is making me feel anxious?
All right. So I understand that there's so much of negativity around with the news, with all the Instagram stories and Facebook that we have, or even WhatsApp messages. So it's important to stay informed, but not obsessively. Probably just stick to the trusted websites that you have and possibly just check the updates probably in the morning and in the evening and not just be obsessed by it. If it overwhelms you a lot, probably take a walk or just stretch a little. And my suggestion is don't stick to all these websites and don't keep checking. If you really want to know about something, so probably contact a friend who has all the knowledge so that you just have like a proper knowledge to what you want to know and not like obsessing over it. So it's very important not to Google stuff as well. Don't keep Googling, looking out for what's happening, what's not happening, because that's going to affect your mental health more than anything else. So it's very important to take care of yourself and limit yourself when it comes to all the news and Instagram stories and everything.
Yeah, so basically we can, distract our mind from not using these apps.
Yeah.
Whenever we are using, we always get into all the stories that are going around COVID-19 news.
Exactly. And that's what's happening everywhere right now. Like you don't see anything else but everything related to COVID or somebody's asking for plasma or something or the other.
Absolutely.
So for a few people, obviously it's a good thing to help people, but at the same point, it's a very overwhelming. So don't obsess. Probably just watch it in the morning and evening and limit yourself a little.
Exactly. Completely agree.
Yeah.
Let's move to the next question. So next question is, life is getting unpredictable. Every now and then there's a bad news. So what can be done to not overthink?
Okay, so what you overthink, what you tell yourself is the most important. So in psychology, we call it like self-talk. So that people are talking to themselves and they think they're mad. Self-talk is very important. What you tell yourself is really important. And your self-talk changes from situation to situation. If you're in a sad situation, you're always telling yourself why it happened with me, why not with this person or whatever. When you're in a happy situation, your self-talk changes.
Absolutely.
So at the same point, you have to realize that your self-talk matters a lot. So probably tell yourself that it's okay. Life is like that, but I will get through it or whatever. Just tell yourself all the good things and the positive things that are important. Then after that, if you're overthinking about a lot of stuff, so start writing what you feel. Take a journal, start writing. And there are people who don't want to keep writing a lot. So I would recommend that probably write the main feeling words. Whatever you're feeling, sad, happy, and why. Just write like a liner, and that might be good for you. And it's very important to know what you can control and what is not in your control.
Right.
What you can control is your thoughts, your feelings, your emotions. And what's not in your control is what is happening outside, what's happening in others' lives, or anything else, COVID for that matter. So it's very important to realize that your feelings, your thoughts, and your emotions are in your control. And start writing what you're feeling. It's very important. And that really helps also. So
absolutely. So basically we have to process our thoughts in such a manner so that we don't feel, anxious, lonely, depressed, or whatever is going in the situation. So it's important to feel positive as well. Right.
Tell yourself all the positive things to make yourself feel secure and happy in the environment that you have.
Absolutely. So for the next question is, how to get motivation to make a proper routine and work accordingly?
Okay. So basically, to make a routine is, I think, the most important thing. I know it's very tough for all of us to go through it, but to write it down, to have a to-do list, at least you have it in front of you. You'll realize that you have something to do later on. I have realistic goals, one step at a time. Don't be like, कि आज मुझे ये सब करना है.
Yeah.
Probably just take one thing at a day and go step by step with it. And eventually you'll probably be able to do 3, 4 things a day after one. After that, make sure that you exercise. Exercise is really important. Breathing exercises are very important and it helps you be focused. So the more you focus, the more you don't procrastinate because of all the exercise you're doing. So eventually you'll get a routine because you're going one step at a time and you'll be focused more than probably when you're not doing all of this. So it's very important to do all of this.
Yeah, also what I feel is right that in during these lockdown days, some people are having work and the others are not having work. So they're sitting idle,
Yeah.
not doing anything at their homes. So I think it's very important to make a routine also, because if we don't, then we're going to start
Yeah.
thinking about the situation that's going on.
Exactly. So probably take a hobby. If you don't have work right now, probably just take a hobby and do something. There's so many certification courses that we have going on, or even on YouTube. So why not just keep watching something and educate yourself a little more, or probably take up an art or whatever you feel like, and distract yourself more than all of this.
To
So
get
that's gonna
into
help.
some of the other activities so that we don't
Yeah,
think about the situation, and that's why I think the health is also affecting.
exactly, exactly.
Okay, so let's proceed to the next question, which says sleeping has become a major reason, and what can be done to cure this?
Okay. So a lot of times these days, if you see, we don't get sleep and we sleep very late is because probably we're not productive throughout the day. We're not tired.
Yeah,
We're sleeping on the bed all the time, or probably just watching Netflix and eating a lot of junk
yeah,
because we have nothing to do a lot. Yeah, basically we're not going out, we're sitting at home. And even if we're working, we're sitting on the bed and working. There's no exercise. So it's important that probably in the middle, take a few breaks, take a walk, stretch yourself a little, and get out of that zone. Because the more you sit on the bed, the time you're going to come back at night, you wouldn't get sleep because your body's been used to all this thing throughout the day. So it's important that you do all of this. And if you're overthinking, there are few thoughts that are not making you sleep. So it's very important to write. I tell this thing to everybody in the world and probably for everything, because the more you write, it's basically what we've been taught as kids, that dear diary and everything in school. It was for the cause. Like basically, the more you write, you feel better, you feel lighter. So most definitely start writing and be a little more productive with the routine question that you had. So probably get into a routine, be a little productive, and eventually you'll be tired enough than the previous day, and you'll get sleep.
yeah, I completely agree with that. I think getting tired, if you're tired, we get
Yeah, exactly. You get better sleep in regular days also when you're tired. Yeah.
yeah. Okay, thank you. So now we'll go on to the next question, which is what health tips would you suggest at this point of time?
Okay. So eat regular healthy meals. Take all your vitamins and zinc and everything, which is very important for our body to fight also. And don't keep on having junk. Like even though I know everyone loves junk, but then healthy food is really important, at least right now for your immune system as well. Movement again, because if you're sitting at one place, your body is going to be very stiff. So if you're working also, if you don't want to move, probably just stretch your body a little.
Yeah.
Prioritize your sleep. Even if you don't get sleep, possibly if you want to sleep at 11 p.m. So probably switch off your lights by 10 p.m. and eventually by 11 you might feel a little sleepy, and don't touch your phone like half an hour before. It's very important. Then take a pause with whatever you're doing. Even if you're walking throughout the day, take a pause and take 3 deep breaths. That's very important. And be kind to yourself. Like this phase will pass for all of us. Just be kind to yourself, and eventually things will be fine.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Okay, so the final question for the day, which is what to be taken to cope up with the anxiety over coronavirus?
Okay. So as the word says coronavirus, we exactly know what are we supposed to do. Wash our hands and do everything. So obviously when you're taking your precautions, you feel better.
Yeah.
So take your precautions that are supposed to be taken for COVID-19. Acknowledge what you're feeling. Understand whatever thoughts coming, be it positive, negative, and it's okay. It's very normal for all of us to feel good, bad, possibly devastated also. It's very normal. These are our feelings. So it's okay what you're feeling. Allow yourself to feel that way and write whatever you're feeling, or challenge all this anxiety into something creative.
Exactly.
Possible if you're feeling anxiety, so there are people who like dancing. They want to dance it out or they want to paint it out. For me, it's basically talking to people who give me positive vibes. So keep yourself surrounded with people also who give you positivity, or stay with your family. And if you can't get out, obviously, like all of us can't, possibly just have a few fresh air and sunlight in the balcony,
Exactly.
or look out of the window. Nature is also very important for all of us. It gives us a little break from all of this surroundings. So meditate, and there are a lot of meditation videos also that we have on YouTube, which are fabulous. So I think go for it and maintain your day-to-day activities, have a routine, and have your basics.
Yeah.
Don't think that, oh, COVID ho gaya, so I can't do all of this. Have the basic routine that you had, and that's just going to be helpful overall.
Yeah, so I think if we,
Yeah,
take care of ourselves and we stay home, we take all sort of precautions, then I don't think this thing
exactly.
is going to harm us.
It wouldn't, because you'll be taking your precautions, you'll be taking care of what you have and what you need. So eventually things will be better.
Absolutely. So with that, we are on the end of the show, and I'm very thankful on behalf of Power Gummies that you gave us your time and your thoughts, your views on this topic, because I think it's very important to talk about this also right now.
Yeah.
This thing
Yeah,
is
mental health is as important as physical health.
absolutely, absolutely. Thank you so much. I think our viewers are going to love
Thank
it
you.
and they'll find this informative. They'll feel positive after listening to all that you have shared with us today.
Yeah.
So much.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.